Hey, this is Eric from Catching Light.
Hey, this is Hemp.
Hey, this is Glenn.
Hi, I'm Steve-O.
Hey, this is Drew Hines with Hindsight Imagery.
This is Matt Callahan at Digimatty Photographic Services.
Hey, this is Jason, and welcome to Tales from the Pit. Hey, welcome back to Tales from the Pit, the behind-the-lens access for concerts and photography. Today is our part 2 with Paris Visone, and we're going to talk about her photos. First up, let's talk about this photo here.
So this I took of Ed from Collective Soul. This was actually the last concert that I photographed. It was in Rhode Island, and I recently started listening to Collective Soul, and I don't know why. I kind of just randomly started listening to them really hard, and I hit up their management because I saw they were coming to town, and I was like, I need a photograph of this, and I did. Whenever I get into a show for free to photograph, I buy a shirt, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's kind of our rule. Well, at least my rule of thumb too is when a good band comes through, I'll definitely buy some of their merch just to kind of give us a thank you back, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the show was awesome. Ed is so cool. He's such a good dancer. So it was great to photograph. And I was singing along. I don't know if you guys sing along while you're shooting. I don't know if that's cool or not, but I do.
It's been known to happen.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Absolutely.
No shame here, whatever, man. We're all at the concert. Don't pretend like you don't like it.
Yeah,
I can remember the first time I had a oh my God moment. We were doing Bad Company, and that opening riff, I can't remember the name of the goddamn song now, but they did an opening riff that everybody knew, and all the photographers in the pit all kind of looked at each other like, this is cool.
Nice.
Hey, Hemp, what songs do they sing at Kids Bop?
Got me.
So one of the joys of us and being the venue photographer is we get to shoot a wide variety of things from kids pop to the heaviest of heavy to country to comedy to everything.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Have you ever,
I actually am wearing a comedian shirt right now, so it's weird that you say that. Robert Kelly, do you guys know him?
Yeah, awesome.
Oh my God, the best. Actually, I bought this shirt before I knew him, but I shot a show with him. We did basically the same thing I do on tour, just behind the scenes videos before and after the show, and photos and videos of the set. So I actually just hit him up and I was like, hey, do you need this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, cool. So I just did it. And it was really awesome. My face hurt by the end of the night. I mean, it hurt all night. It was a great show.
Was that recent?
That was, it had to be like 6 months ago.
Okay,
maybe more now because I forgot
that
about
down in
COVID, the black hole.
Right. Was that in Nashville or in Boston?
No, that was in Boston. That was in the city. Where was it? One of those theaters that are next to Chinatown.
Oh, yeah,
I forget
cool.
the name of them. Yeah.
Awesome.
Charles Playhouse, maybe?
Yeah.
No, it has the glowing marquee. Anyway.
Okay. Who cares, right?
Yeah. Who cares? Huh?
Nah, it was funny.
It's all a blur.
It was funny. Go see it.
All right, let's move to a next one. All right, I'm assuming that's Godsmack.
This is the kind of stuff we would like to get.
So this is this is where we get jealous because we're on the opposite side of this, getting the same shots as every other photographer.
Right.
So tell us about what you got going on here.
So this, I think, was like one of the first times where I actually like got behind the drummer. This is pretty early on. Shannon Larkin is a beast and he's very skinny. So he kind of looks like super crazy from behind, which is awesome. But I always just liked how this one sort of looks like a painting,
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, and Shannon's looks are so deceiving. You would never expect that he's such a monster drummer.
Yeah, he's a hard hitter, but his arms are as skinny as his drumsticks. So
They look like it. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Where was that at?
That was at a shed somewhere. I want to say, I don't know. That was the Uproar tour. I remember that.
Charles Playhouse. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Not just kidding.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
We
After a
always ask
while,
stupid questions.
you could lie, we wouldn't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's that. I know. There's
Maybe that
no
was-
identifying marks in there, so you
It was
know.
in Japan.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Very cool.
When it comes to taking shots, because I know they do a lot of drum duels and stuff like that, drum offs and stuff like that. Do you have specific moments during a show where you really want to focus because you know they're going to want that sort of thing, or is it the same thing every night? Now you got to figure out how to do something different, or
That's more like it. Like I know everything down to the second, so I just try to be in a different spot every night for everything. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
get a little bit different for this song and a little bit different for that song. So sometimes I plan out my set.
does the set? I mean, it may be different from show to show, but does the set vary a lot, or is it just a little bit here and there? Or
No, it's pretty much the same every day.
now, for when it comes to you taking photos with your gear, are you trying different experimental things with your gear?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I mean, I'll do, it always comes back to it, but I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try a super, wide open thing for this, and then it doesn't really work. You know what I mean? Oh, maybe I'll try dragging the flash and dragging the shutter and use a flash, and it always just gets weird. And it's cool sometimes, but once you kind of develop your style, you kind of just stick in that, and that's cool with me.
Do you ever find that you're getting stuck with a creative block? Like, oh, here we go. I just shot these same songs over and over and over.
Yeah, every day before the show, and then after the show, I'm like, hey, all right, I got something different, and then it's like a victory.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the next one.
Ooh.
All right.
that's wicked.
Yeah, tell us about this one.
So this is Limp Bizkit, and this I remember is it was Greenfield. Where's that? In Europe.
Oh.
Greenfield Festival? Do you know
Okay.
it? I'm sorry, I'm talking to Eric. It's very rude. I'm talking off camera. But yeah, it's a festival. With Limp Bizkit, we did a lot of Europe stuff, and the crowds were insanely large. So this had to be like 80,000 people. And
Really?
it's crazy. Yeah, I really try hard to not trip over things when I'm on that stage. So,
What year was this?
this had to be like 2014.
And how long were you on the road with Limp Bizkit?
I think like 4 or 5 years.
Oh wow. Okay, so you
Oh,
did
long
that for a
time.
long time. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And what's so something like that? So again, you're dealing with a wide variety of different personalities and stuff like that. Are they like very private? Do they want backstage photos or videos or stuff like that? Is it anything you can talk about with that?
I kind of always just push for it. You know what I mean? I set the precedent to where I'm never going to release anything that you don't want to be released. So kind of just let me do my thing. And a lot of bands just agree with that. You know what I mean? They have to be able to trust you. And once you get past that, it's good. You know what I mean? And you still decide if it's a good time to shoot or not. And,
Yeah.
but,
Use your judgment. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I know you did for Godsmack, but does any of this stuff go to like a concert footage or videos for any other artist?
What do you mean?
Like you did some videos for Godsmack. Did you do any video for?
Do I do any for Limp Bizkit? Yeah, I
Right.
did. I shot one with Fred called Endless Slaughter. So if you want to look that one up, it's pretty cool. It's basically a really long song, and it's 4 different parts, and the 4 parts are one shot. One long shot each. And
Oh, wow.
the first shot is one of Fred going through a crowd in Poland. And it was the most insane thing ever because not only were in like a Limp Bizkit mosh pit, but Fred was in the crowd and they knew we were filming a video. So it was the most intense thing ever because everyone was trying to get in the video. And we basically walked from the back of the venue to the front where the stage is, like in the crowd. So it was nuts. So yeah, if you want to check that out, it's on their YouTube. It's called Endless Slaughter.
Oh wow, that's awesome! So cool.
Pretty cool.
Nice. All right. Let's jump to another one. All right. What about this one?
So this is Ian from Newfound Glory. He, I like this one just because he's very square. There's sometimes where I just like photos just because of the shape of them, and this is one of them. And this is also a band that I've shot. We did a lot of shows, and we also did a tour called the 20-year tour, which they've been a band for 20 years, and they played all of their albums all the way through. So there are days that we were in one venue for three nights, and they played 2 albums each night. So
Wow.
it was crazy, but we were also in the same place. So there's just times where this is one of the photos that's like, okay, that's different. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was a victory when I got this one, because it was a little
Yeah.
bit different than everything else. So
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And where was this one? Could you say?
I think this was Dallas, I want to say. I think this was House of Blues Dallas, maybe.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked a lot about your time on the road with them. How long were you on the road with those guys for?
I was with them since 2016, and then
Okay.
last year was the last tour I did with them. But it was a lot of touring. Like, it was more than Godsmack does. Like, they do not stop. So it was a lot, but it was a lot of fun. They're sort of more my age, so it was a little bit different in that aspect with the hanging out things, like we had similar interests. And it was cool. I've always loved Newfound Glory growing up, so that was cool for me, because those are some of my favorite records, and I got to hear them all the way through every night.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was
That is
awesome.
so cool. So being that heavy on the road, do you ever get like burnout?
Oh, for sure. Yes.
How do you deal
100%.
with that?
You just deal with it. You just go in your bunk and you just try to stay alone for a little bit, and then kind of reset, and it's fine.
And is it for touring bands like this? Is it the 3 on, 1 off, 3?
It depends.
3 or something like that.
It depends. Sometimes we'll have 2 in a row. Sometimes we'll have 3 in a row. Sometimes we'll have 6 in a row. You know what I mean?
Really?
It's different when you're with bands that are at a different level. Like, some bands don't play more than 2 in a row. Some bands don't play more than 1 in a row.
Right.
But with Newfound Glory, we did Warped Tour, and there was a few that there were a lot in a row. And it was brutal because, Warped Tour is Warped Tour, where it's just like hot sun, and we don't.
Over it every day,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But luckily, we had a shower in the bus, and that was key.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, when you're on the bus, are you touring are you on the same bus as the actual band, or are you part of the crew bus, or?
It depends on the tour.
Yeah.
With Newfound Glory, we were all on one bus. With Godsmack, I was on the band bus when we were in Europe, but here we have a larger crew, so I was on the crew bus. With Limp Bizkit, I was always on the band bus. It varies, but I also like being on the band bus too, because there's more stuff. Like, I can take pictures,
Yeah.
while we're on the bus, and that's kind of cool for me.
Do you find it tough being? You probably. Well, I shouldn't be guessing at this. Are you the only female on the bus with most?
It depends. Sometimes there's another girl. Like, for Newfound, we had a lighting girl.
Okay, yeah.
For Godsmack, we had a VIP girl, and the last tour we were on with Volbeat, my friend Riley was working for Volbeat, and Britt, their photographer, is a girl. The more and more it happens, the more girls are coming, which is cool. But also, I can get along with the guys too. I'm not like mad if I'm the only girl on tour,
Yeah, because guys will say stupid things.
Yeah, and I'll say stupid things right back. I don't care.
Well, I think you've probably toured with the extremes when it comes to the different guys.
So, definitely.
You've
Yeah.
probably been through it all.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, what do you do on your day off when you have a day or 2 off? What's your plan? What do you got going on?
I'm kind of always on call, so whatever the band's doing, that's what I'm doing. If not, like, I'll go get sushi. I'll just chill in my room. Or if we're in Europe, I'll do something cool. You know what I mean? But if we're in Europe, the band usually does something cool, and I'm usually with them filming it or taking pictures. So
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you've been pretty much around the world by the sounds of things.
I have. Yep, a
Really?
few
That's
times.
awesome.
Wow.
Nice.
It's really cool.
Okay.
I'm
Let's
envious.
jump to the next one. All right, this is one of my favorites.
Oh, thanks.
Tell us about this one.
So I just took this the other day.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Zach and Brent are in Nashville. They have their side project, Smith and Myers. So we did a bunch of photos and we shot 3 music videos in a very short amount of time. So it was actually really awesome. I love them. They're so cool. This is just one that I went through them. I probably took like 2,000 photos. I gave them 1,000 and they came back with 100 that they wanted. So I was like, okay, that's a lot, but I'm glad you liked them. You know what I mean? So this was kind of one that just stood out to me.
Has this been out yet? Have you released this or anything yet?
Not this one, no.
So this is an exclusive for us, right?
Exclusive.
Yeah,
Nice.
exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't met that many artists, but the artists I have met, these guys are by far the most nicest, down-to-earth, caring people I have ever met in the music industry.
Yeah.
When they played our venue, I think last year with Bad Flower, I mean, they usually do the VIP up in the loft. I don't know if you know where the loft is. It's up probably the only air-conditioned spot on the other side of the stage. But it's above the VIP area, basically.
Yep.
So they always do their VIP stuff up in the loft, and we're instructed to get out of the way, stay out of the way. This is not, this is their time. Don't interrupt or anything like that. So we kind of huddle in the back corner, and they came by and they like introduced everyone. They was like, "Who are you? What do you do here? Nice to meet you. Shake your hand.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great show." I mean, really, really down to earth guys. Really, really nice guys.
Yep. And they're like that all the time. It's not an act. You know what I mean? And they're just awesome.
So
With
genuine.
that said, I've been following them on Instagram, and this particular guy, he's been trying to send out this really positive message to people. Try and keep active and work out, and just keep a really positive mind because of this whole pandemic thing. He's really impressed me. Yeah, Brent's the man, totally. Yeah, so this is an awesome shot. So when you filmed the Smith Myers stuff, is that what you were working on?
Yep, we filmed 3 music videos and then we did a bunch of photos.
That is so cool. Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, they're so easy to work with. Like even taking photos of them, it's like I didn't tell him to do that. I just did it. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He knows what looks good, Yeah.
It's hard not to get a good shot of those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were on the road with them with Godsmack for several tours.
A few tours. Yeah, the first one I think was 2013 maybe.
Yeah.
So I've known them for a while.
Yeah.
But this is actually the first time that I've officially shot stuff for them.
Oh, cool.
So,
okay, good.
Just hang in there.
Right. It'll come eventually.
You have to be in Nashville exactly when they're going to be in Nashville, just by and that's the thing. It's all coincidence and hard work and being nice, and that's how it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so cool. So thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate your time and your great stories and stuff like that. The one final question I have to ask that maybe you've been asked, I don't know, to tie this back to part 1. Have you photographed Hanson?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
The circle has been complete, and it is thanks to Zach Myers. He is the man.
What happened?
We were playing a show in New York, and the next day we were driving, I think like 3 hours away, and Hanson was playing the festival where we were the next day, but we had a day off. So we drove, and then Zach rented a car and we drove back to where we went. And we went and hung out with Hanson, and it was the best. And my whole thing was to photograph Hanson, and we're in the dressing room. I brought my camera because I was super nervous. I was like, okay, we're hanging out with Hanson. This is it. This is awesome. And Zach's just like, oh, no big deal. I'm just hanging out with Hanson. And I'm freaking out. So Taylor, the singer, he is a photographer as well, and he takes out his camera and he goes, do you mind if I take photos? I was like, do you mind if I take photos? And I took out mine, and I took some behind the scenes shots of Hanson and Zach, and it was awesome. So yeah, life complete there.
Nice.
11-year-old you was very excited.
11-year-old me was freaking out, but I think I was acting pretty cool.
It's hard, you know, when you meet your heroes, it's so hard to be cool.
Yeah. And of course, they were the nicest ever. You know what I mean? And I've been to a show since then, just by myself, not with Zach. And they're like, "Hey, Paris, how you doing?" Like remembering my name, and I'm just like dying.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So you'll probably get the call from them at some point once
Yeah.
this COVID stuff goes away. You'll
You
be
know,
on tour
20
with
years
them
from
next.
now, I'll go on tour with Hanson, and I'll be like, "Okay, worth it."
You'll be doing Patriots during the off season and or during the season, and then Hanson during the rest of the time. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all your time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. It was great talking to you guys.
Yeah, very
We hope,
impressive.
we hope to see you at the venue whenever that may be. Obviously, everything got pushed back to next year. I don't know
Right.
what's going to happen for next year, but you know, we would certainly want to wish you best of luck with Hello TV. First of all, that's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hopefully, the whole Patriots thing turns out well as well. And
Yeah. If I get +4, you guys are coming. Whatever you want. We're going to get you some s'mores at Guilford at least.
there we go. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
Well, next time
I
you're
must
at-
have dozed off there because I thought we were a +4 with the crafts.
Yeah, no, that too. That's what I meant.
But anyways, yeah, next time you're at the venue, we'll definitely have to say hi and maybe do just a quick update on where you've been or something like that. But
Yeah, for sure.
I really appreciate all your time, and
Thank
maybe
you much.
in a little bit we can do another follow up.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Anything
coming
else
on.
you want to leave
Thank
it? You want to leave with anything else you want to add? Any websites or anything
That's it.
else?
Check out HelloTV.com, 3 O's.
On YouTube.
Yeah, .com, YouTube, Facebook, we have it all.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Paris.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching Tales from the Pit. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you check us out on talesfromthepit.net, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.